Hello, everybody. So good to be back on these LinkedIn Lives. So, today I want to talk about sales and how, if you are good at coaching and consulting, then you are actually good at sales. And the reason this comes up is I was having a conversation with one of my clients recently, and helping her to reframe her idea of being a salesperson. And so, and this idea, she's very confident of being a great coach, a great consultant, but didn't think she was good at sales. And so I'm like, well, actually, the skill set's the same. So I'm really excited to share with you today about a little bit more about that conversation, how you also can start to shift your mindset if you are a coach, a consultant, an online service provider, that, and especially if you're a newer one, that the skills that you have in that expertise is actually the same as sales. So we'll dive in a bit. But first, for those of you who are new to me, my name is Carissa Begonia. I am a business coach for BIPOC entrepreneurs, a LinkedIn expert, and top voice. I'm a second generation Filipino American daughter of immigrants and the first and only in my family to start my own business. I started at Conscious Exchange because I believe that entrepreneurship is the path to equity and that life design is liberation. And at Conscious Exchange, we're creating this ecosystem of BIPOC entrepreneurs who have the same mission of achieving time, location, financial, and occupational freedom for themselves, as well as their families and their communities. So I appreciate y'all for joining Wisdom and Wellness, where myself, some business besties will come on sometimes, and we share practical and mindset tips around questions that we're often asked about when it comes to running a business. So if you have any questions, you want to share some love, you want to say hi, I'd love for you just to drop it in the chat or in the comments. Okay, so let's dig into this topic. And if for those of you who are maybe watching live, I would be very curious to see how many of you actually think that as a coach or as a consultant, online service provider, that you're good at sales, right? That it's the same thing. Because I tell you, when I was talking to my client about this, and I've been sharing this, with a few different folks lately, their mind is kind of blown because they come in with this idea of like, oh, well, I'm like really good at coaching. I'm a really good consultant. They maybe have expertise and an experience of doing that for years, but now they're doing it on their own. Maybe they're doing it for corporate or nonprofits, internally before, and now their work before, and now they're operating independently. And it's almost like, oh, it's a different thing, because it is a different thing, right? But the skill set's there. And the thing that you've picked up as a business owner is sales. Is now you, as my friend Dave likes to say, you've chosen to take on a 100% commission job when you decided to be an entrepreneur. So there's when you are choosing to be a business owner, you're choosing to also be a salesperson. Yet, there's a kind of disconnect of when you become an independent consultant from whatever experience you've been building for the last 10, 15, 20 years, to now being this business owner, and having to sell, right? Having to make all these decisions and go out there, meet people, and see if they want to work with you, right? And again, there is a very similar skill set as a person who is able to deliver and work with clients well, whether you're again service provider, consultant, coach, and being a salesperson. So let me dig in. So the framework I want to give y'all in thinking about this is what I call for my sales process, especially on consults, the heart method, right? I meet a lot of folks who are maybe don't come from like a sales role. So I'm thinking about a lot of the experiences that I have of sales are a lot of spammy messages, right? A lot in the DMs, annoying emails, these just very aggressive sales tactics and such. So the reason I've created this other method, like I call the heart method, is to show that sales is really about service. It can be soft, it can be gentle, it can be, or at least perceived as that, right? Not this, again, strong, aggressive, buy this thing. So hopefully that kind of calms your nervous system for those of you who are activated already about thinking when it comes to sales, because sales for a lot of folks, especially again newer entrepreneurs, is scary. It can be nerve wracking. A lot of folks say they don't like it, they're not good at it, and I really want to help you shift your mindset around this. So Sales can be soft and gentle. And let's use this my heart methodology here for it. So when you are a consultant or a coach, right, service provider, what's the first things you do when you are meeting with your client for the first time, right? When you're starting to build that relationship and you're starting to get the work starting to work, right? Probably you're creating this safe space, right? You're creating the expectations of that with that environment. So, so the first one is um, H. Hello. It's just the greeting, right? And I know that this initially sounds ridiculous, that we even have to mention this, but a lot of times when we are first starting off in sales conversation, we're nervous maybe, and we just go to the straight to the punch, like straight to like, here's what I do, and this is what I can serve and help you with. But really, especially when people are coming into a conversation with us, in a sales conversation with us for the first time, we want to create that safe space. They might also have those expectations of sales, with you being the selling to them and being kind guarded, right? So you want to let people's guard down, help people, invite them into, and know that it's a safe space for them. And it's like, okay, here are these expectations. Even just greeting someone and saying hello and creating that warm environment for someone to feel good about being in this conversation with you, right? So you do that as a consultant, right? You're just building rapport, you're building relationship. You also do that on a sales call, and just building, like, again, some of that trust in that initial meeting, right? So that's H. Hello, creating that safe space, creating that environment for. I'm gonna probably, as a client, as a potential client, they'll be divulging some things that they might be shy about and or nervous about, because they're looking for help, right? So create that environment where they feel like they can trust you enough to be able to share some that information with you. All right, two, E. E is for um, evaluating, right? So again, when you are a coach and consultant on that call, maybe for the first time with your client, you're evaluating, you're digging into what might be coming up for this person. What are the problems, or this organization, if you're doing B2B? What are the problems that you're experiencing? What are some of the issues that you're trying to solve for? Who are the different players, etc. Getting the lay of the land, right? And you're probably asking really powerful questions to get more and more into the root of that. Okay, so you're doing that as coach and consultant. What do you do? What's that next step for us in a sales like call, for example? You're also evaluating, right? You're also asking this potential client, hey, what are some of the problems that you have? Like, why did you come see me today? What? So we can talk through that. And you're really doing a lot of listening to understand what is going on for this person and evaluating for yourself too. Can you help them, right? With honesty, integrity. So that evaluation is that next step, right? So whether you're a coach, consultant, or a salesperson, doing the same thing. All right. A is affirming and acknowledging folks. So this step is sometimes missed, but when you were a coach consultant, you were asking, okay, like, is this clear? When you've evaluated, you understand some of the problems, right? Getting the lay of the land, you're then affirming and acknowledging, okay, like, I hear you. This is what I'm receiving from this. You can acknowledge the struggles, right? Repeating back what you heard, making sure that, like, you got it, right? So the same thing when you are on a sales call is the same is what's happening. You're affirming your potential client, right? Okay, showing them that you understood what they were just spilling guts on, right? Sharing all the different, like, kind of issues that they're having, and they're hoping that you might be able to solve and help them with, right? That's where they're on this call with you. So affirming and acknowledging, repeating back what you've heard. All right. See this similar, it's a similar thing, right? Okay, let's go to R, and this is called relating. So again, as a coach or a consultant, you probably want to continue to build that trust, that rapport. Hey, you're relating to what what your client has just shared with you, right? Okay, I hear what you're saying. Here's kind of my experiences of this, how I've helped maybe other clients, right? And you're starting to relate your own experiences and to theirs, right? So this is, again, just solidifying that you understand their problems, and leading up soon to solution building, right? And eventually you're going to start planning all that out. Again, they're your client already. You're doing these timelines. You're probably coming up with the whole thing, right? So again, you take it back to the sales call. relating, you're sharing your experiences with this potential client to let them know, again, affirming that you understand the problem, right? Here's what I have gone through in my life. Here's a little bit of like other clients I've worked with who have similar kind of areas of concern or things that they want to work on as you, right? So creating, you're again still building that relationship, creating that relatability, and creating that trust with your potential client, right? So similar again with what you're doing for consulting versus what you're doing with in a sales call. And then lastly, it's T, which is stands for treat. So this is really when you're now sharing your plan of action, what you have taken all this information, right? Again, this is you as a coach consultant already with your client. You're probably coming up with a game plan, right? Again, this concludes timelines, who are the different meetings that we have to have, what the different stakeholders say. If you're doing coaching, right, here's kind of the curriculum we're going to go through, or your 3 month plan that we're going to work towards over our time together. So you're sharing the solution, right? For a sales call, you are treating it, but this is about possibility. So you're still sharing with them some type of plan of action, how you can solve their problem, as well as now, because they're not your client yet, what is the offer that will help to address this issue, right? So maybe you have a 3 month package, a 6 month package, or another type of offer again in your product suite that you can use to share with them. So this is where you are though, sharing. Here's what's possible. Here's the cost. Here's the price. Right. That's kind of the difference between when you already have this client and when you're in a sales call looking to potentially capture this client. Right. So that is my heart method, and how when you are thinking and talking about sales, or talk like how consulting and coaching actually is very similar. It's the same thing as a sales call. And maybe in the chat you can all let me know if that is making sense. Like if that is, oh yeah, like I didn't even think about that. I didn't even realize that. Because I'll tell you, when I shared that with these clients, right, past clients, even some potential clients, it just blows their mind that they already have the skill set for doing sales. And it hopefully what I've helped you do today is start to see how your method of how you will take a client on, how you onboard them into working together is actually very, very similar to what we would do on a sales call. And so, like my friend Dave says, you've signed up for this 100% commission job. When you decided to be an entrepreneur, you decided to become a salesperson until you're big enough that you can scale this and you can hire other sales folks to do this for you. But in the interim, when you're just starting, it is you, right? And hopefully, man, makes you feel a little bit better that you're actually already set up to have to be able to do this. You are good at this. If you just reframe your mind about what the components are of, say, a sales call. Okay. So with that, thank you again all for joining Wisdom and Wellness. I know that sales can be scary. It can be intimidating, especially when you're a newer coach, a newer consultant, or service provider. And my goal really is to help make this fun, make sales feel exciting, something that you look forward to, actually, not something that you're like resisting. Because with all honesty, you do not have a business if you do not have sales, right? Even more than you delivering a service to a client. Anyone can provide a service. Not everyone though can get paid for that service, right? And so again, when you are an entrepreneur, you've signed up to be a salesperson. So again, I know that is scary sometimes and a little bit of a disconnect. And we're not always taught how to do sales and how to do sales in a way that feels good, that feels gentle, that doesn't feel like these really broy, aggressive tactics. So what I'll say is, I have something for you, right? The doors are open for my sales intensive, conscious selling, authentic sales for the non-salesperson. Really excited about this offer because we're going to start really sharing like the different processes and methods that can make sales easy and fun for you. So it is a 12-week relationship-based sales training and group coaching program. It's an intensive. It is for specifically for BIPOC consultants, coaches, and online service providers. And we're going to teach you how to find, approach, and close more clients. So I have partnered up with my BFF, a friend of mine that I've known for, oh my gosh, like 2 decades now, David Ho, and we came together to create this program because really have been tired of seeing, not seeing a lot of sales trainers or coaches of color. We haven't really met sales trainers and such who are teaching sales in this non hustle culture kind of way, and who are even really tailoring their trainings to meet the unique needs of BIPOC entrepreneurs, right? Looking at it from a more cultural lens. So we created this because we know that, again, even more than your sale, your delivery of your offer, the delivery of your service, you need to have sales, because then you don't have a business without it, you know? So it is the backbone of your business. And oftentimes I hear coaches and consultants say like, I'm afraid of sales, or I hate it, or I'm not good at it. So in this conscious selling intensive, we will teach you these sales tools, strategies, shortcuts, so that you can also be successful with this, again, culturally relevant lens, not really these overly aggressive and sleazy sales tactics that a lot of people are using out there. We're done with that. We're not doing that. So our goal really is for more BIPOC entrepreneurs to love sales, to enjoy it, to have fun with it. When I'm on sales calls these days, I'm laughing with my clients, so, and it's a no-brainer from there. So helping you really create this style of your own so that you can continue to be successful, serve the communities who really need your support. All right. So if you have a existing business model, you are, whether that's B2B or B2C, you already have some paying clients, but maybe you're having trouble hitting that 6 figures, then this is a program for you. We're really working with newer entrepreneurs here. So what we'll be covering are things like clarifying your niche and your ideal client avatar and your offer, making sure that your pricing and your service and messaging is clear, demystifying the sales process, because there actually is a process, y'all. It's not just like this haphazard, go out there and have a conversation. And I don't just mean scripts. I mean the process, even from lead generation all the way through closing that client, right? So learning what to do, what a sales funnel is, what to do at each point of that funnel, so that you're very clear on your action steps. We'll also work on mindset exercises and give motivational prompts to y'all, so you can help with those fears that you might be having around when it comes to sales, right? Also, identifying and scheduling your daily and weekly tasks so that you can know exactly what you need to do every single day to create those consistent results. As well as, like, again, figuring out these different lead generation sources and strategies, so that we can take you through the entire funnel, all right, to close. All right. So we're actually only taking 10 people because this is a pilot program. We want to keep it intimate. We want to make sure that each participant has individual support. And it's a skill set really that we want y'all to understand that sales is not just a skill set for business. It's something that really can help you in your life, right? Like it's about sharing and offering help. So my friend Dave and I, we are very determined to make sure you succeed. He's got 30 years of sales experience. I am a LinkedIn lead generation expert. So we're determined to see you win. You will not fail in this. So if that is of interest to you, I would love for you to come join us in the conscious selling, authentic sales for the non-salesperson. You can register in the comments, or in the comments. We'll put a link in there. And yeah, happy selling. I hope this method, this heart method, has shown you that you are a good salesperson. You can do sales. You can find clients, right? You already have the skill set as a good coach, as a good service provider, as a good consultant. So let's just apply that now to this more scary, dirty word of sales, because it's effectively the same thing. All right. Have a great day, and hope to see you in the program. Bye.